I'm Mads Birkholt, and today I'm gonna tie a banana and gray salmon fly. It's a fly inspired by the old gray and green. So let's go to work. First I'm gonna take a Pro Nano Tube to tie it on. And I'm gonna put a Flexibead on it in Chartreuse. This is the 4mm, and of course you can use all the sizes depending on the size of the fly. I'm just gonna put a small amount of glue on it and push it tight. And now we already have made the body of the fly. Then I'm gonna tie in an underwing of polar fox in Chartreuse, which gives the fly a hot spot along with the Chartreuse bead. I'm going to take away some of the wool and take away some of the longest fibers. Like that. Gonna cut away. And now I'm gonna tie in a Spey hackle. I'm gonna remove all the fluff. Like that. I'm just gonna tie it in by the tip. Just to make sure that it's probably, I'm just gonna fold it back and put on another turn like that and cut off the tip. Now I'm gonna fold back the fibers and turning the hackle. Make sure that each turn is directly in front of each other. Like that. And depending on the feather and the fibers. Oh, I got something stuck here. Gonna give it about maybe 5 or 6 turns. You can check how much you think. Just gonna give it one more turn. Like that. Now make sure that the fibers look nice. Fold them back and gently take a couple of turns back over the fibers and the stem of the hackle, like that. And now I'm gonna take a piece of crystal flash and put it right on top of the wing. And fold it to make sure it sits nice. I'm gonna pull a bit in the ends of the crystal flash. Makes it sit a little bit nicer and cut off to length. The crystal flash should be just a bit longer than the underwing, like that. For the overwing, I'm using some fox. This is a very soft fox, because this fly is made for the Danish salmon rivers, and we don't have a strong occurrence as maybe in Norway or Sweden. So I like some extra movement in the wing. You can use polar fox, you can use a more stiff material if you want. And the color is this light olive, dirty yellow, banana kind of thing. That's why I gave it the name. I'm gonna take a bunch. I'm gonna remove all the wool in the bottom. And as you can see, it's getting a lot thinner, just about that. And then I'm gonna remove all the longer fibers. But I still want some of the stiffer, longer fibers. And if it doesn't taper enough, I'm just gonna pull in some of the fibers, so I get a nice taper on the wing. And the overall length of this wing should be just a bit longer than the crystal flash. So when you have the underwing and the flash and the overwing, it gives a nice taper to the fly. I'm just gonna give it a couple of turns, and then I'm gonna push it with my fingers to flatten it out and to make it a bit wider. Something like that. And then I'm gonna tie it in. I think I'm just gonna take just a little piece off. I don't want too much thickness. I want the wing to swim in the currents. I like that much better. And then I'm going to cut off. Like that. And now to add some more flesh, I'm gonna put in just a couple of strands of some mirror flesh in olive, or you can use Chartreuse depending on how much power you want in your fly. And again, I'm gonna double it just taking it out front, give it a couple of turns. And then I want to make sure that this flash is following the wing. So it goes on the side of the wing. And I'm going to cut the flash just a little bit shorter than the wing. Like that. Nice. Then I'm going to take a hen feather, just an ordinary hen hackle in gray. And I like to keep just a few fibers of the fluffy part. Again, this fly is made for the Danish salmon rivers, and the more soft fibers you use, the better the fly is swimming because of the currents. I'm looking for 2 to 3 turns of the hackle. So I'm just going to cut the tip off. Take a couple of fibers in front. So 3 turns of hackle. And the last thing we need is a couple of jungle cocks. But before I put on the jungle cocks, I just gonna tie a small knot to keep the thread aligned, and then I'm gonna cut off the tube and burn a small collar. So just a millimeter in front of the thread, I'm gonna cut off the tube and I'm gonna burn a small collar. Like that. Just gonna have a little more burn. Like that. And this is the Po jungle cock in 3 extra small. I'm gonna prepare 2 from the beginning. I'm gonna cut them off at the same time because then I know they have the same length. I'm just gonna put one down And then I'm gonna tie in just, I always start on my side. And I'm gonna tie it in all the way out in the front, making sure it sits nice. And I tie them in, cut them to length and tie them in so I don't have to cut them after I've tied them in. I think that's easy, the most easy way to tie them in. And of course you have to check that they are same length and sits symmetrically, like that. And just to make it a very durable fly, I tie them in with just a little bit of glue. And then you make sure that the jungle cocks are covered with the tying thread. And then just whip finish. Like that. And now all we need is just some varnish. And then you just coat it 2 or 3 times with the varnish to get a nice and shiny head on the fly. Like that. And there you have the banana and gray salmon fly. So when I use the Pro Nano Tube, I mount the hook with the Pro hook guides like this, and often I use single hooks and make them turn upside down. That's ideal for fishing with sinking lines. You don't get as much tangle and get stuck to the bottom. This is a Avex single tube. You can also use the Avex double tube mounted the same way.